I understand this behavior is entirely inappropriate and wrong, but the exterminator came, he got everything all soaked, and my legs are all wore out, and I got nowhere to sit, and I have to sit because I guess sitting in this toxic shit. I thought this chair was dry. I felt the chair, and I was like, well, this chair feels like it's dry, and then I sat in it, and I realized, the top layer of it's dry, the bottom layer of it's wet. So I already got the shit on me. According to the pesticide guy, it's like it's cooling until it's only like caustic until it dries out. So now I got like wet. What am I gonna do? Hold my elbows up the whole time? Only me. There. I don't even know what I just ripped. There. I already got this stuff on my skin. Oops. Sorry. Okay. Oh, I had to do so much work, just prep work, over this bed bug thing that, I had like, this is somebody that should not be doing this, mind you, but I had to like heat up gigantic pans of boiling water to boil my sheets in because uh, I don't have laundry facilities. I don't have people that I would want to ask for help, especially concerning potentially uh, troublesome communicable vermin. And so, I'm heating up these pans of boiling water, and I actually slipped carrying one, and I threw it into the bathtub on top of the already hot water, because you got to get the temperature of the water up. I mean, I didn't have a thermometer to put in the water that would have read it, so I didn't know how hot was hot. Apparently, with bed bugs, you have to like expose to kill the eggs and the adults. You have to expose the adults to a briefer amount of time than the eggs, but I think it's like 90 minutes at 120 plus degrees kills them, which seems kind of weird. But I wore myself out, and then like it was weird because when I first realized I had bed bugs, I was able to sleep. But then the next night, which today is Thursday, Tuesday, I did not sleep all the way till like 9 or 10 in the morning. I was up all night, and then slept till 1 o'clock on Wednesday, and then shoot, last night I didn't go to sleep till I have no idea, very late, 4 or 5 in the morning or something like that, and had my alarm set for 10. So I'm exhausted, and then I don't know how I kept from falling. It was damn near a miracle, but somebody messaged me on my phone, and it's like I was just expecting to eat it and eat it really hard into the wall, and just call it providence, call it good fortune, call it whatever you want. But somehow I kept from falling. But you know, my knees all blowed up from all the work I had to do with. You got to strip all your bed sheets. You got to rearrange all your stuff. They get into the headboard, so you got to sort through all the stuff, box it all up. You want to keep as I'm breaking a rule right now by sitting with this computer in the living room because you want to keep all your shit in your bed in the room that's infested here in the bedroom. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and light this thing. So I'm getting poisoned from the outside. I'm also poisoning myself. Um, I was talking to his name's Chris. I'm gonna start giving people's names, but he's my second cousin that served in Afghanistan, and I didn't ask for this one. He just threw it through the window. He just opened the window because he don't have no electricity. So I said you can charge your phone, but I said we should not have any contact with each other. I got exterminators coming here. So I opened the window, and then so he could plug in his charger to his phone. And then later on, he just hurls a cigarette through the window, and it ends up in my printer. And he said, "Don't forget, there's a cigarette in your printer." I'm like, "Okay, man, whatever." But yeah, I am uh, just so exhausted, and my knee is all blowed up from all the work I did. Because you have to like sort through everything, and then like I like doubled down, like wash stuff like 2 or 3 times. You know, I got like a little mini, like it's a thing called a Wonder Wash. Somebody's calling me. Probably gonna be my brother, so I can splice this together and move Avi. So I'll talk to you later. Or not later, I'll talk to you in 2 seconds. 1001, 1002. Well, that shows you how bright I am. I'm exhausted to the point of stupidity. I mean, that could have been anybody. I just called my brother a couple of times. Because I'm trying to let everybody know that there's a possibility that this infestation thing I got with the bed bugs could be traced. But they're like a denial factor there. But anyways, what got me is I told the landlord about this. And he was like, well, that's your responsibility because you got them because you let somebody in, because of somebody you let in your house. And I think he quickly added, but I'd be willing to pay for it, you know. But, if you chip in like $200, because the guy is pretty affordable. And I'm thinking, this guy really isn't bright because he just showed me his cards. Of course he'd be willing to pay for it because if I had my own plan set up and spent $38 at Walmart for zippered things and some poison. I bought 3 things: a box cover, uh, zippered encasement, mattress zippered encasement, and some poison. And so he showed me his whole cards. So I know, like, I'm like, I don't want any exterminator. It didn't take him too long to say, okay, I'll just pay. What if I pay for the whole thing? So I was like, I just want to take care of it myself. But yeah, that's how this guy is. It's like he's gonna suck me for $200 without even asking this person upstairs, you know, if they have a problem. And they just had, the roach thing just went down last month. Uh, April 12th is when it started. And that came from upstairs. And that's another way where I had him. It's like I said, uh, he said it's because of somebody that I let in my house. And I said, well, I got roaches and they didn't come from my house. So, following a chain of debate logic, he knows where I'm headed. He's not that, he might not be as sharp as me, but he knows that the next question is, of course, this person on Stark Metropolitan Housing did not pay for an exterminator to come to get rid of them roaches. And he was like, bed bugs are hitchhikers. You brought somebody into your house. And I'm like, yeah, well, those roaches are hitchhikers too. So he knows he's fucked. He's dealing with somebody that's smarter than he is. That's all. But he shouldn't have done that. You don't play cards that way. You don't like. I'm gonna bid $15. Then you pull a 5 pack. You put in like a man. You don't say like, oh, but I'll be willing, to pay. I'll be willing to pay for all of it except for like $200. That's how this guy is. It's like this has gone way back now, but this is another example of this guy's character. Why I call him a fake Christian is because he's got guys working on the roof. We have satellite dishes on the roof. He told them to get rid of any extra satellite dishes because we had like there's 4 apartments here and we had like 6 satellite dishes. So they unplugged the wrong ones. So they unplugged me and Roy's satellite dishes. We're in here watching TV. I'm actually watching TV for a change. Remember, I'm watching Law and Order. Uh, SVU. And TV goes out, And that's like $115 service charge for them to come out and fix that. And he's like, I'm not going to pay for all of that. And I'm like, man, you don't have a leg to stand on. I'm thinking to myself, it's like if this was a Judge Judy case, she'd laugh you out of the courtroom. You hired the guys. The guy's fucked up. It's your responsibility. You got to pay for all of it. You know. So I was like, at that point, my leg wasn't hurting too bad, and you know, so I had a lot more patience. And that was a while ago, and so I was like, you know what, just to maintain a good relationship with the guy, I'll offer to pay 50% of it, even though there's no way. So he walks in on rent day and he's like, oh, I decided to pay for all of it. Like he's making a magnanimous gesture towards me. I was like, dude, that couldn't be more obvious. If you hire guys that fuck up, it's not my. What did I do? I'm sitting here watching TV and then my TV doesn't work. And then I call my company and they tell me they're going to charge me a $115 service fee to come out and fix it. Where's my culpability? So this is the kind of guy I'm dealing with. It's like, I wonder how much money he actually has that he's being so cheap like this. That he's trying to like worm an extra $200 here, or like try to like get me to pay 50% of something that's 100% his fault. You know, and he's just a slumlord. Period. He didn't start out that way. He just decided. He probably like. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know him. I just know right now that my ear feels really weird, like it should pop or something like that. And I'm not going to be a hypochondriac and think that I'm like being poisoned, but you know, if it kills bed bugs, it'll probably kill me too. But yeah, my throat feels weird, and my ear, like I got that airplane ear type thing. I've never been on an airplane, by the way, or driven a car, had any fun in my life at all. But uh, yeah, it feels like it should pop, or like like it feels like I'm on a mountain range or something. It feels really weird. That's not good. Probably shouldn't be sitting in a poison chair, but I got one chair in here to sit in, and it's super uncomfortable. And I got a wheelchair I could sit in. I thought about sitting in that one, but I'm like, I'm already here. I want to put my poor legs out. This is really dumb of me to do this. So yeah, I just want to be in bed, but the bed is saturated. That's another thing. Is I went in and I checked out the bed, and the bed's really saturated. And I seen like a bug crawl around on the bed, and like I seen this other bug, and I like reached in the corner, and I'm like, oh, I got this shit on my fingers. And that's what the guy said. He's like, you don't want to come in contact with it when it's wet, but once it's dry, it's pretty harmless. Because he was spraying it without a mask on, and I asked him about it, and that's what he said. So, hopefully this isn't some kind of symptom. It's weird. My ear just feels. It feels like when you're going up in the mountains, because I have done that before, and you're waiting for your ear to pop. It's, I'm not in no mountains, so my voice is starting to sound really weird. Yeah, what the fuck? I should have drug in one of the chairs from on the porch, but I'm too worried about falling down on my knees all blowed up, and I'm all full of fatigue and shit. I might as well light this thing and continue the poisoning process. I apologize to any smokers that are trying to quit smoking, because there's nothing worse than watching a handsome or beautiful woman smoking, because it makes you want them both. Let's face it, I'm goddamn irresistible. And now I got the end so wet from holding it in my mouth it won't even draw right. I don't know, man. This has been one hell of a week. I mean, between the power outage and my internet going out for 48 hours, then discovering I had bed bugs, then the guy's an hour and a half, then the landlord trying to screw me, and then the uh, exterminator today was actually an hour and a half late. I got a bunch of medications at CVS that I can't pick up because I can't get there. So I thought the landlord was going to come out with the exterminator because he comes out with the plumber. And I was like, I hate to ask, I hate to be two-faced like that since I hate the guy, but I was like, man, I'm in a tight spot. He's just going through a drive-through. And I was like, he's like, I'm not even in town. So I humbled myself and asked, and he wasn't even coming with the exterminator. He comes with the plumber for some reason, but I think they're buddies. The plumber's guy's name is Bruce. Or maybe it's that the plumber needs like authorization to do shit. Like I need to do this. Is it okay if I do that? Where it's a prepaid thing with the exterminator. It's like a flat fee. I just come in here and spray a bunch of poisons, so some idiot in a blue shirt can sit in it and start to feel really fucking weird. I'm just so exhausted. I just wanted to go to lay down. And I didn't eat anything either. I couldn't eat for nerves or stress, so I didn't eat. But the Chris guy, the Afghanistan, uh-oh, that place overseas guy, uh, he just uh, gave me a sandwich. That's about the only, some kind of rolled up burrito thing, and that's the only thing I ate today. I've been up since 10 o'clock in the morning after going to sleep about, I don't know, dawnish. But, I had a whole stretch there where I didn't sleep for 36 hours. But, yeah, bed bugs, man, are psychologically. I mean, I put a quote in there from an article, and it said there's psychological anxiety effects on people are horrible, and that there's even been suicides attributed to people that can't get rid of them. You know, so it's been a hell of a week. I don't know, like I don't know how long it's gonna take my bed to dry out. I got the air conditioner in there because I figured that draws. I left the window open though. Dummy. It's real moist out today. It was raining and shit. Dummy, dummy, dummy. Just shut the bedroom window, put on the air conditioner, which dehumidifies, which would dry out the bed faster. I got one working fan and I'm using it to dry out the sheets that I got hung up, uh, that I had to wash in boiling hot water. I had a fun moment with that pan of boiling water where I actually started to fall and I threw it into the bathtub last night about 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like, I had it planned out in my mind that that's what I was going to do, but I saw my dad, he had his fucked up old coffee pot because he was a fucked up old dude. And the coffee pot was so weird, it's like, it had like, it was like a ones you'd see on Gunsmoke or something. It's like old tiny coffee pot. But it had like a metal part that you boiled water in. You boiled the water first, and then you poured the boiling hot water into the hopper part, and then you put it back underneath, and you put the two pieces together and set it down. One time, my sister, I think, bumped him or something while he was doing it, and he poured boiling hot water all down his forearm and gave himself second-degree burns. And that thought crossed my mind when I was carrying that boiling hot water, but I'm like, well, I got to make sure that, I got to kill these things. I got to get rid of them. The guy's going to come back in 2 weeks, that's the way they do it. And because they're hard to get rid of and respray everything and ask me if I've seen any bed bugs or anything like that. Uh, I really don't know how long I had them. It could be as little as 2 weeks. It could be as much as a month. Or it could even be longer than that. It's hard to tell, you know, because they're not like fleas. Like you'll have like 3 or 4 fleas you'll see in your house, and then the next day there'll be 3 or 4 thousand. I mean, there'll be just a huge population explosion. It's like bed bugs don't work that way. But you don't. I imagine you don't want me to educate you on bed bugs because that's what I sat and did. It's like I read and read and read about bed bugs and what to do about them and the best way to get rid of them. And I know all about bed bugs now. Um, I'm gonna wait until the guy comes back in 2 weeks and sprays, and then I'm gonna, after my mattress dries out, I'll hopefully be better prepared, not knowing what this process was going to be like. I hope I'll be better prepared and have some place to sit where I'm not being poisoned and my ears not feeling like it needs to pop. And I can't pronounce the word Afghanistan. Uh, hmm. But at least I caught it early and it might be over. Thing is, I got an old mattress and it's from when I used to smoke. Used to smoke. That's when I was really smoking though. Getting high and shit in bed. So occasionally there's like holes in the mattress. So there's places that they could actually live inside the mattress, which is why I got the idea that, why I bought the mattress encasement thing. Because I said they could be living inside the mattress. Usually they just live inside seams and shit. But I mean, and there's threadbare parts to it from my heels, and they could be living inside the mattress. And they spray the mattress down real good, but that doesn't mean they're gonna kill all of them. But if I zipper that shit up, you know, I'm not gonna get bit by them. And if I keep them zippered up, keep that zippered up thing on there for over a year, they'll all die of starvation. But there's no stigma attached to bed bugs. It's like I was in here minding my own business, being the same person that I was for the last 51 years, and I've never even seen one up close and personal. And I lived in some pretty deplorable conditions before. So what happens is they're just hitchhikers, and you could 5-star hotels have problems with them. So you could just got to be careful who you let in your house and who you don't let in your house. Or you end up in this situation. But I'll hang on here until I put this stupid poison stick out. This is the third one that I smoked, and it's why I got to stay away from smokers because this is an addiction. I I don't know. I just want to put this day up. I just want to sleep and sleep good. But that mattress is fucking soaked. So I suppose I should take the fan in there and blow the fan on it, like a regular box window fan, and the air conditioner, and close the window because there's pretty high humidity out there today. And just it might be 3, 4 hours before I can safely lay on that bed, which would probably be like normal under other circumstances, except for the fact that I am so dead tired. Because I asked the guy, "Can I sleep on this thing tonight?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, sure." And I talked to him about the poison. He's like, "Once it's dried out, it's not. This is white people talking. Uh, this this reminds me of a book by the guy who wrote Dune called Soul Catcher, and you know how I love literary illusion. Uh, but there was a Indian kid who's in the book. I have the book. It was one of the books I was going to try to read as an audiobook, but he he re, he rejected all forms of what Hokwat was his native word for white people. He'd be like Hokwat poison when he referred to things like that. It's like white people just take like we think that we're all carbon based organisms, me and those bed bugs. And you know, just because they won't kill me and they'll kill the bed bugs don't mean they're good for me. So, but white people seem to think, well, you just spray some raid and you spray some poison and everything's groovy. You know, it's like that's why I wouldn't let him. He wanted to spray for roaches in here too, and I wouldn't let him do it. I was like, no. It's like, you see any roaches? And I was like, I saw one from like in a week. I saw it this morning on the day that I told him about the bed bug situation. He said, "You want me to have the guy spray for those too?" And I'm like, "No. I got this other stuff that's like a paste that another landlord in my head, a much better landlord than you, uh, but also very cheap, gave me." Um, but yeah, like getting chummy with this guy, you know, just getting chummy with people, man. People with substance problems. I understand them very well. It's like we were talking. Uh, we were talking actually through my window because I said I don't want to go out there and have no contact with nobody. You know, gotta keep this whole thing contained. So I was talking through the window, and he was sitting on the porch, and he was like, people can't judge me for the substances I use unless they lived my life. But it's like I saw his phone charger on the porch, because he left it there. And I was like, well, I don't want it to get stolen. And I was like, well, I'll take it. I'll compromise. I don't want to people, people with substance issues. But I'm like, well, I'll compromise, and I'll put it in a chair outside, up off the ground where nobody can see it. So I jammed it up against uh, the porch. But I didn't realize, that rain would hit it. So I think he was out there swearing about rain hitting it, but rain would have hit it on the ground, and somebody might have stole it because kids will steal anything. It's when I first met the main squatter. That's the first time that I met her. She stole a battery phone charger off of me, and then I was like, I'm not confronting this stupid. I was in my Xanax stress days, so I'm like, I don't know this person, and like I don't know what. I'm not confronting her or having an angry boyfriend in my face over something that cost $2.50. But that's the first thing she did off me, was stole my battery charger. I just said, just as I gave it, she just was a stranger knocking on my door, and so that's no need to make that a complicated story. But she was on the porch, and I don't think no, she wasn't on the lease or anything. She didn't live here. She just knocked on my door, and she said she needs to charge her phone, and do you have a phone charger? And I'm like, yeah. And I said, I'll be here, knock on my door and give it back. Now, most phones, how long do they take to charge? 15 minutes? Well, it's been about 15 months. She just stole it. It's the first time I met her. She just, so that guy's, point being, that guy's battery charger, I just didn't feel comfortable leaving it there. And I'm like, you know, yeah. Anyway, that's the end of that. I'm all hoarse and miserable and sleep deprived. You know, but I don't even know when I'm going to get to go to sleep. I got these things stuck to my arms because it's like dry on the surface, but the poison is soaked down underneath. So that's why it felt dry to the touch, and I felt safe sitting here at first. And I sat here shirtless, and I'm like, well, I better at least have a shirt barrier. But I had to, like, last night I had, like, in preparation for the exterminator, I had to, like, bag everything up, like, just like everything, anything that had a chance of any kind of infestation at all. Like, bagged it all up and sealed it all up airtight. I threw some shit out, like I threw a couple of towels out that were at risk, and uh, I threw out a whole sheet that I was like, this sheet's pretty crappy anyway, because uh, the, just did so much work last night, and then I didn't sleep, and I couldn't go to sleep, and then they sprayed today, and uh, I don't know when my bed's gonna dry out so I can go to sleep. I imagine going, laying in your bed, exhausted, going to sleep, and then waking up with caustic burns on you or something, or waking up sick from poison. My ear feels a little better anyway. But yeah, that's enough out of me. That's my story. That's my day. And what a week, man. Power outage all night. Wake up in the morning. Oh, the power's back. Oh, the internet's gone. 48 hours without internet, and then it just pops on by itself. Then you find out you have bed bugs. Then the landlord trying to screw you out of $200 because he's a cheap son of a bitch. And then your exterminator is, and then you don't sleep. I mean, you're just not sleeping because how do you sleep? You know, knowing that you're in a bug-ridden bed. So, and you don't sleep, and then your exterminator shows up an hour and a half late. Don't tell me that, yeah, don't tell me that the universe doesn't get some kind of perverse pleasure about playing games with me and kicking me around. There's just too much evidence to the contrary. Yeah, I'm gonna get off here and drink. There's water right there if I can reach it. Drink some water. Maybe flush some of these toxins out of me. Maybe eat a little more. But yeah, uh, I'll catch y'all next time. Hopefully, one of these times it won't be like bizarre and just, I like to come on here and say, hey man, I had a great day. This happened, and this happened. I met the most wonderful woman in the world, and we had a great conversation. And hey, there's a new tenant in the building, and she's awesome, or he's awesome, and they're super quiet, and they keep regular hours, and they don't vibrate the wall so hard that things fall down. And it's like the person I got up there now actually stomped so hard that it turned the lights on in my apartment. I mean, so one of these times I'm gonna have good news. The law of averages demands it. You can't play poker and get all garbage every freaking hand. It's just you can't. So the scooter was the bright spot of the last couple months. Is but it's not here yet, and I think I'm gonna wait until next week. Call the scooter company and ask them about my case and how it's gonna go and what you know, or whatever. But for now, bye bye.